What's up, guys? I'll start this in just a second. I'm letting a few people get on. It's kind of out of the blue. What's going on, YouTube? How are you? I gotta think of a more clever word for you guys. YouTube is kind of lame. I was gonna call you borners, but it sounds too much like boners. So I'm like, yeah, I can't. I'm not doing that. That's weird. That's sus activity, and I don't want to do that. Um, yeah. So last night I talked about during the live feed. I talked about doing some behind the scenes stuff with this feller that owes me a lot of money and I don't really trust. Well, he already pulled some shady stuff and it's already over. Like, I'm not even wasting my time to go look at his stuff. So, yeah, that's out of the question already. I can't complain, Brandon. Can't complain. How are you, brother? I'm trying. I'm trying. Um, Last night's live feed was fun. And it's Sunday, which is usually supposed to be an off day for me. But when you're like holding the law down, you don't get a whole lot of off days. Switch just around, maybe. Can I? I don't want to do that. I want to do this. But yeah, I am watching the train wreck that is YouTube right now, and just wondering, like, what's wrong with people? There's a lot of crybaby activity where people are whining because people are saying something about them when they're running their mouth about other people, and it's like, um, I don't get it. I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense to me. Um, just I can understand if we were like a mixed drink channel, or you made purses or something. But like the amount of feelings that are involved with people in the tree industry these days is unreal. And last night we were talking. Our guy Steve apparently was contacted by the Chinese embassy, and they were looking to revoke his green card or passport because they heard he has, I guess, homosexual tendencies. Now, everything I say is just my opinion. That's it. Like, and I'm allowed to have my opinion. I don't care how mad it makes you, Steve. I am allowed to have my opinion. I am allowed to joke. Satire is okay. Don't let everything hurt your feelings. But, boners works? No, I can't do it. That's funny. Yeah. So yeah, apparently he asked, let them whine. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, what have I walked into? Chris says, dude, yes, you missed it last night. You walked in right at the tail end of the live feed, but the live feed was about I gotta get. I start laughing. My head starts. My ears get hot. Like I gotta take my hat off. But so yesterday, or yeah, yesterday I got on my phone and there was a video from Steve with Metal and Wood, and he said that he had received a phone call from the Chinese embassy, and that they had information of his homosexuality, and they were gonna revoke his passport or his green card, I guess passport, because of it, which is funny. And right there, I would think, hey, this could be a prank call. I'm thinking this may be a prank call. Billy says, enjoy the buckle in. We have the lights on and we're flying 90 miles an hour down the road, pulling people over. So he registers this as a true phone call. So he makes a video about it and talks about it. I'll buckle up. Yeah. He makes a video, talks about it. The funny part is the guy who contacts him, his name is Mr. Wang. I guess this could all be true. This could all be true. I could just be, maybe I'm a paranoid freak and I'm just always thinking the worst. And China really is worried about his sexual preference that much. Which, Steve, if I'm being honest, I could care less. As long as you ain't knocking my door down and messing with me, you don't bother me none. I don't care what you do. And I don't think China cares either. And then, so right there, I'm thinking, prank phone call. I tell him, hey, bud, are you sure this isn't a prank phone call? I get them too. Not quite like this, but a guy did say he wanted to put barbecue sauce between my butt cheeks and eat it one time. So, yeah, people are crazy. I'm going to regret saying a lot of stuff in this, but it's all for the sense of humor. Just, we're going to work tomorrow. Like, we got to get up early. Job's always stressful. Just have a little fun. Laugh every once in a while. Don't take everything so serious. When it involves your family, get serious. But when it's just a bunch of fellers talking, you shouldn't let stuff get to you so much. But what sold me that this was absolutely a prank phone call is that he says to the man from the, let's just say Mr. Wang, he tells Mr. Wang, oh, but Mr. Wang, I don't know where you're getting this. I'm completely straight, sir. I'm absolutely straight. And like he does a like, do you all circle jerkers at the job? It's just impossible, Jacob, because I'm in the tree and they're on the ground, so like our parts are so far apart, you know. You're okay, Billy. You can let some of it go, brother. It's funny. If I'm gonna just, you know what overstepping is, so sound like you're pivot man. I guess, yeah, maybe. So I'm sold that for sure this is a prank phone call he's getting, because he says, Mr. Wang, you know that I've been over there and I've been perfecting the Chinese clone chainsaw, and that you're good, Jacob. It's good. Only when there's a guy named Peter. Yeah. So he says, Mr. Wang, you know that I've been over there perfecting the Chinese chainsaw, replica chainsaw for you guys. And he goes, oh, yes, Mr. Steve, we know you make real good chainsaw. Get the hell out of here. That's not true. The guy from the Chinese embassy, I assure you, has much better things to learn, like to talk about and to worry about, other than you making a replica chainsaw when you came over and visited for 2 weeks. Now you think everyone in China knows you? Like, dude, just think for a second. Somebody prank phone called him. He fell for it. made multiple videos talking about it, and says, Mr. Wang, I bet you, and he named a couple people, and those people were like on a forum or something. Um, so he got really mad because they said his chainsaws aren't the best. They had an opinion that wasn't in his favor. So therefore, now those people have been entered into a chainsaw cult lawsuit. So anybody who has told him that they don't like his chainsaws or that they're not the best, he's getting really mad. I'm going to tell you something. I seen my guy Ground Pounder, and Ground Pounder's probably busy right now, but he caught Ground Pounder in someone's comment section and like tried to bully him. And Ground Pounder, he stood his ground, but Ground Pounder, you're allowed. There you are. What's up? Dude, I seen Steve catch you in the comments on Fab Acres stuff. I gotta turn that other light off. It's like whiting everything out. The tone is messed up. Sorry. Is this better? Oh, so much better. Sorry about that. I could feel the heat from that light on my face too. You fucking yes. Oh yes. So yeah, I'm Fab is also doing the same thing that that Steve's doing. So some guys don't like you. They're allowed to not like you, dude. You gotta get over it. No, not everybody likes me. It's okay. Oh, Michigan Gun Dog, you the man. Thanks for the reminder. That's sick. Yeah. So damn, I forgot what I was saying. His story is so convoluted. It's so hard to like keep up with what I'm even doing. So they're just getting upset, and now they're suing everybody. So there's a chance that this dude is gonna make a bunch of people waste time, go to court, and have to sit in a court. Like, I don't understand what he thinks he's gonna get from this. Because what he just admitted is that he has to show and prove $75,000 worth of damage, and then he can sue everybody. So anybody that's ever said anything wrong, bad, that's just not good. What's up, James? You're in trouble. Let's just say that. So he's gonna sue anybody that's not agreed with him. Now, then when I went over and I seen Fabs was kind of complaining the same way, and now he's gonna sue people. Dude, that's beta activity. That is beta as hell. Well, the first thing you do is I'm gonna sue somebody because they said something in a forum, left a comment that you don't like, questioned your sexuality. Dude, you know your sexuality. Like, and I don't think it was anybody. It's Fab seems to think people on the forum are questioning his sexuality. From what I'm hearing, Steve said it was the Chinese embassy and the country or whatever it is of China that is questioning y'all's sexuality. If you're included in on that, who cares? Like, I don't look my name up. You want to know why I don't look my name up? Because I'm sure somebody's made some video out there where they accuse me of being strung out on drugs and this and that, all because I'm not an overweight, typical fucking American. It's old, man. It's old. Like, I guess you can't prove, like, I've always been willing to, I'll take a piss test in front of God and everybody on live. I'll turn around, we'll blur it out, but I'll show you the results. Like, but I just question those people when it happens. Like, you take this, you do the same thing, you make a video and then I'll make one. But I guess you can't do that when you're being accused of your sexuality. But it shouldn't bother you anyway. Like, originally, I took a little bit of offense to it And I'm like, this ain't fair. People shouldn't be. But yes, it is. They can say whatever they want. Like, if you don't like it, you can block them from your channel if you want. Or how about if you know there's a forum out there where people are saying bad things about you, you just don't go look at it. I'm not looking myself up because when you do that and you're so fixated on yourself and how great you are, you're going to find out not everybody thinks that. And if that blows your mind, you may need to get yourself checked a little bit. Now, Steve, I'm not accusing nobody of having mental issues. So, Steve, don't throw me in no damn lawsuit. I'm trying to be friends with Steve. He don't want to be friends with me. I just want him to come on the channel and just one day and then talk. I'll let him spend the whole thing talking about Noker chainsaws as long as he'll cut up and joke back and forth with me. That's all this is. That's like all this is. So, but he's taken a lot of offense to the fact that I think he charges a little too much. That's just my opinion. There's brands of clothes out there that I don't buy. There's climbing devices out there that I don't buy. There's chainsaws out there that I don't buy because I can't afford them. I think they're too expensive. They shouldn't hurt your feelings. So, let me try to catch up on a couple comments here. Which, by the way, is mocking the person is racist and is also despair. Yeah, I know. I know all the stuff that he cries about people doing to him. Hence the title of this video, Stop Crying. He's doing all the same shit. Like, dude, grow up. Grow up. It's okay that those guys don't think you have the best chainsaws in the world. You got to be okay with that. Like, there's no reason for you to be so incredibly bothered by the fact that they don't love your chainsaws. Like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. It blows my mind. But he makes a video of people mocking him while proceeding to mock a person himself. Yeah, exactly, dude. He just sat there and said, it's like, I've never sold a chainsaw. I've only sold. How many videos has he made talking about he's only sold 12 chainsaws? Well, in his very last video, right before I just came on live, he admitted he sold hundreds of chainsaws. The reason he says this is because in the middle of talking about how he barely sells chain, he realized, oh, I don't sound really that cool when I say that. And he says, well, needless to say, y'all didn't know. I know I've said that I only sold 12, but I've sold hundreds. See, there you go. He just admitted, I got to come up with $75,000 worth of damages for me. So he's going to embellish how many saws he sold now. This is where people have an issue with you, Steve. This is where you come off and people dislike you, Steve, because you talk out of both sides of your mouth. It's okay to have an opinion, man. People will realize your opinion, will decide to watch you or not watch you based on that. But, dude, you gotta knock it off. Like, be truthful. If you were being truthful, I don't think you would have near as much issues. There's your biggest problem, is you're not truthful. You just want to BS your way through shit, and then every once in a while, you will admit that you lied, but that doesn't make it not a lie. That doesn't make you not kind of a skeezy person when you lied. Because you lied for a reason. You didn't lie for no reason. People don't just lie for the fun of lying. Maybe a real liar does, because they're just good at it. Like, some people are really good liars. Steve, you're not a good liar. I have called so many of your lies before they came out that it's not even funny. Like, yeah, it's just, I'm not getting into it. Like, I don't want to get deep and personal because that's not my intentions. I just think Fabs, it blows my mind because I think Fabs was one of the few people that has left comments on my channel and like got me to where I'm like pissed. Which blows my mind because Fabs is also one of them guys to glaze you, and then out of the blue, he's not in a good mood. So he's one of them guys will leave one of them crazy comments because he disagrees with something you said or something. I don't get it. Maybe some people drink and then get on YouTube, and that part I don't really get. If I did drink, I would probably do that. I'd get mean, get drunk, and then get on YouTube and be like, "Would you say, Billy? I keep skipping every comment. I seen Billy put steel sucks. You better knock it off." Yeah, ground powder. That's what I'm talking about. Billy, Billy, you need to take your own comment off. Ground pounder, hit him. You know what not to have on here, right there. Just hit him with the. This comment's been. You got the wrench, dude. Um, so yeah, dude, I don't get it. Fab has been one of them guys that I don't even know if he watches my content anymore. But man, he would be. He just he has an opinion. He's very bullish on his opinion, which most people are. I respect that. But you can't get your feelings hurt all that much when someone else has a difference of opinion. That's lame, dude. Then your opinion sucks. Steve likes to get on his channel and say, "I'm about to make this video and tell my opinion about this person and their business and this." Nobody else did that to you, Steve. Nobody got on and said, "Hey, no one buy a saw from him." People have talked about what you do. At some point, someone got a Noker chainsaw. It could have been Steve's. I don't know. Steve is very convinced that that was absolutely his chainsaw. And that's the reason everybody's getting sued. Because Steve shipped his saws off to a guy, and at some point, the saws ended up over at somebody else's house, Steve thinks. And the guy opened the saws up and showed what they look like. So, and they weren't good. It didn't look good. And so Steve's very upset. He says he has the serial numbers on the video to show that those were his saws. And then I don't know. It goes on and on and on and on, but it's silly because he then turns around and says that those chainsaws still are not prepared to be sold to people. But at the time, he was telling you it was the greatest saw in the damn world. These Noker chainsaws is the best saw in the world. It's 381. Look at this. Look at me. Look at this. Look at me. I'm the great. Then all of a sudden, somebody else said, no, not so much. And you're going to jail. Like, I'm going to ruin your life. I don't know what Fabs just put a video out showing something about $250,000, and he's been saving this up for 12 years. Fab. It says something about throat fucking or something, and like that's strange too. Like whatever. And something about the chainsaw cult up above that. So whatever. But how have you been saving money for 12 years over something that just happened like maybe 2 years ago? Both sides of the mouth. People love to do it these days. They just are so into trying to produce content that they don't even realize, oh, yesterday I had the opposite opinion. But today I have this, so I'm just going to talk. Some people just shouldn't talk so much. They should maybe step back and listen every once in a while. And I think, especially when you're having issues with people, it would probably solve a lot of stuff. So, I don't know. I've used one brand since 2007 and have made a lot of money with it. Me too, except for not since 2007. Like that's just all my dad ever had was steel. So that's what I buy. That's hence the name Steelborn, because my dad raised me and my brother as a tree guy. He only had steel chainsaws. That's all he ever bought. So I feel like I've been basically using a steel since I was born. And nothing else. So you use what gets the job done for you, and what you'll buy another tool. Like, you don't go buy a tool and it works like crap, and you're like, I'm gonna buy another one. That's not what happens. You know, you don't go buy a chainsaw and it works like crap, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy another one. That was awesome. No, you buy something else. But when you find that brand that you bought and it was a good product, you're like, huh, I'd buy another one. So then you buy another one. Then you buy another one. And before you know it, you've gained this trust and rapport with this tool over time that you now trust that brand. And that's your brand. So I don't care if anybody likes Husqvarna, really. I just think it's fun to poke at it sometimes and just act like it's super important, because it's not. Same way with Echo and everything. But like, if Steve would give me a chainsaw, and I'm only saying that because I know it's gonna aggravate Steve if he sees this, because he really thinks everybody wants a free chainsaw. Steve, give it to him. Like, give me a free chainsaw. That is the only way that I would use it, is if you gave it to me for free. So I can't say that I wouldn't use a Noker chainsaw or a Pro Mag. Like, something needs to cut roots, and like, I could use it like a stump grinder and just go in the dirt. But kind of like how he just did. He just put a video out today falling a living cypress tree, I think in Florida, and I think it's like illegal. I don't know if he realizes it. So like, the first comment says, "Isn't it illegal to cut down cypress trees in Florida?" And he's like, "Not residential. This is residential." Okay, right on. But as he did it, he made like his top cut and then his bottom cut. But when he made his angle cut, he just like, he doesn't know about a saw. I think maybe he's used to using a saw that's maybe 18-inch or something. So when he gets a saw with a longer bar, he doesn't realize where that tip's at. And he was like this deep into the dirt with his cut. So it was pretty funny. But and then he blamed it on the ground having sand in it. Ruins a chain real quick. No, just cutting dirt in general, Bubba, it ruins a chain. You should stop that. Groundy's used the Husky. That's the same way with me. I can't complain about my Husky. I had a couple of them. They were running pretty good. It's just, I need to do some work on all my saws. It's just to that point now. I can't complain about my Husky. Evening, fellas. Oh, Squirrely John, what's up, brother? We'll catch you a little earlier this time. Batch of spaghetti is going to be good night. Ooh, boy. Damn, that sounds good. John seems like he's always the guy rolling in here saying something about food and getting me hungry. Yeah. Damn, that sounds so good though, John. I want spaghetti now. But if you weren't here just earlier, and you were here last night, I talked about maybe going and help, or trying to do some trees for a guy who owed me some money and has owed me money for a very long time. And I asked you guys if you wanted me to record the interaction between me and him, and we could just have fun and watch it later. Well, he already tried to pull some fuck shit, and told him to stick it. So that didn't take long, did it? Oh. I don't have time to dick around with people these days. Like, I'm getting old. My time's valuable. I don't got time for your shit. Like, get your head out of your ass or leave me alone. I don't got time for you. Look how lazy I am. I'm down to one file being good, and only one side of the flat file being good. So I gotta flip it every time. Like some lame sissy. I should call being a poor guy. Oh man, what the hell happened? Oh. Okay, but at least I can see the camera a little bit. Oh, from this view. yeah, I just figured I would do this with you guys. I needed to sharpen my saw. Had a few things I got to do tomorrow, so I could talk to you guys. And plus, old Steve's been kicking out videos non-stop, and he's crazy. You know, I don't like that position. I don't know why I have to be so much different on this side than I am on the other side. That's strange. I had intentions today for you guys to, like I said, I have some really fun videos to put out that are kind of gnarly. I think in one of the videos, I'm working right next to a hornet's nest, swinging branches by it, and luckily we didn't hit it the whole time. But it's one of them surprises you get, because the tree I was doing didn't have a hornet's nest, just the one right next to it had a hornet's nest, and I was worried the whole time that it was gonna smack it as we were rigging. We were working over a wrought iron fence and stuff like that. So, and then the other one, there was a big codom hickory where the top was broke out and laying into another tree, and we had to rig that whole tree out. And there was a bunch of them. I can't even remember. It's a full 128 gigabyte card with just like mainly gnarly rigging jobs. GP takeoff? Oh, damn. See you, brother. Sorry, I was trying to get this done so I can go eat because John got me damn hungry. Talking about Paschetti. I like me a country rib for sure. Yeah, who doesn't? I question your country if you don't. We just drove by. That's just reminds me. We used to, when I was a kid, my parents used to take me to Six Flags at times, and the way I knew that we were halfway to Six Flags, because we lived quite a ways from it, was we would pass this elephant, this big pink elephant at this gas station, and it had a martini glass in its trunk. I think it's on Highway 141 is actually where this is at in Missouri. I think what Arnold area, somewhere around there. But so we would pass by that, and that's how I knew we were halfway. So I hadn't seen that pink elephant in forever. It's still there at the gas station. And so a few years back when I was working up that direction, on my way home, I was like stopped in at that gas station. I had to get gas, and there was two fellers over there selling ribs, and they had this little, like, I don't know, little box trailer that they had turned into a little rib stand. They had their barbecue pits out, and I went over and asked, how much, and I think it was like, I think I paid $10 for a full rack of ribs, and they were wet ribs, and they were, honestly, to this day, it's the best rib I've ever had in my life. And I've just the other day was we were by that again. Me and Jake went by it, and as we were passing by, I was like, dude, there's that pink elephant. And then I told him, I was like, one time when I was there, dude, I ate the best ribs. Like, and it was early when we passed by. Well, we were on our way back through. As we were passing it, those brothers were still out there, I think, or they were back out there again selling ribs. So I gotta stop by there. I have to swing in and get some of these ribs. They were honestly just the best ribs I've ever had. So making an airplane? I wish. No, I am filing my chain on my chainsaw. Hornets and yellowjacket. Yeah, dude. We got. I think it was a dormant nest. It just. It's always a bummer when you're trying to figure out, like, I hope it's a dormant nest right now. Um, they could have been live in it. Luckily, we didn't see any. It was a little cold that day, which was also good. But yeah, I think it may have. Hopefully, it was just an old nest, and we were rigging right on it the whole time, and it was very sketchy. I was worried the whole time. We had a couple of them get so close. Well, we'll do a little continuation on the news, I guess. When I did our one yesterday for the news, a couple people hadn't posted videos. I watched a couple different videos from people. One of them was Brandon, Rusty's Tree Care. He put out a really good video. So check his out. And then who else? I think just Steve. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? I didn't get to watch it before I got on here, but I told you I just had faith that Yeah Trees was gonna post some more content, and I think he just posted something. Hopefully it's a video and not a short. But if it's a short, whatever, that's cool too. But I would just like a little more long form content from him. I enjoy his stuff. It's funny, I run into men all the time that are like, you know what the first thing they say to me when I'm finished using my saws? How you get your blade to cut that good? How do you get your blade to cut that good? And I'm so, like, not confrontational. That's when, if you're a dickhead, you would be like, it's not a blade, it's a bar and chain. Yeah, I'm not doing that. If you want to call it a blade, it can be a blade in your world for all I care. But I tell them, you knock the guides down, and they're like, yeah. What's a guide? Oh my god. They're like, I just took my chain in, I had it sharpened, and I'm like, where'd you take it? And he's like, well, I got a buddy, and he sharpened it for me. He's like, I can't figure out how to use the round files. And I was like, oh, really? I said, is he knocking the guides down? And he's like, I don't know. Well, what is that? And so I told him to get one of these, because this tool does everything at once. And especially if you're somebody that's not good with a file, it's very fast is the reason I use it. And I've sharpened so many chains. If I'm just bored and I got nothing to do, yeah, I'll sit here and waste time and hand sharpen a chain and knock the guides down and do all that stuff. But if I don't have time to do it, I'm just using this thing, because what it's doing is it's knocking the guide down in front of the tooth. This little hook thing right here is designed to make sure that the tooth doesn't take a direct hit into the wood. It only takes a hit right where it's sharp. So it makes it skip, and it hits right where it's sharp. So the way a tooth's designed here, they get shorter as they go back. So as you file it, that tooth's getting shorter. So you have to knock this down, or it's going to make it skip it. It's going to skip over it. So, and I also am a firm believer in, yeah, there's no such thing as you can't sharpen a tooth. Like if a tooth gets too small, you can't use it. I think I just had it really small. Yeah. Yeah, this thing's still got a couple sharpens in it. Let me show you this tooth. Which one is it? Oh, right there. Oh my. Now am I catching into my cord and everything? Let me hold it up like this. There it is. See that little tooth? It's very, very, very small. Let's just say that. I'm not wasting any more time trying to get it to focus. It's very, very, very small, right? But it still cuts. I still sharpen that again. You know, as long as, I think the problem most people say, that's when they say all your teeth need to be the same size, is that they don't know how to use the guide. The way they like to use a guide and knock these dogs down is like the same on each one. So if the teeth are all the same size, when you hit the guides, yeah, you may be able to hit them all with just one swipe and it'll work. But that's silly to throw a chain away when it's still useful. I used to work for a guy a long time ago that he thought it was cheaper and more effective to just buy new chains instead of sharpening them. He legit told me to throw them away. So if you notice, this was probably 10 years ago, a decade. Well, look on my wall. I still have a lot of chains. Those 660 chains right there, 3.5 foot. You'll buy a couple of those and spend the money. I'm not throwing that damn thing away. I know how to use a file. Like, do your thing, dude, if you want to waste money and you're a baller like that. But I find it funny that that guy is the type of guy to tell me to throw a chain away, and was also the type of guy to not pay me and be behind thousands of dollars to me. He's just lucky that I'm not a spiteful person, because all I should do is just blast his name everywhere and tell the world how scummy he is for screwing a young dude like me over at probably one of the hardest times of my life and making me suffer, and then firing me because I asked for my money, thinking that he was going to put me in a spot. And well, what I said is, this is the last day I'm working for you if you don't give me my money. He owed me $5 to $6 grand, and then decided he was only going to give me half of my money for a week. For some reason, because we ended up having one job that was the whole week, and he only wanted to give me half of what he said. And I was like, no, that's not going to work. He's like, I had more expenses, blah, blah, blah. I was like, this is not going to work. If you don't give me all of my money on this, this is the last time I will work for you. You owe me too much money. He says, well, then get out of my truck. I said, okay. And I stepped out. I got all my stuff out of his truck, because nothing in his truck that was tree related was his. And that used to bug you, because everybody wanted to use my stuff, and he knew that, you know, I wasn't going to sit there and be like, will you please buy me this? I just bought it for myself. And so I had tons of stuff, just like I carry around now. I haven't changed much. I carry more than I need, always. So he made me drag all that shit out on the side of the road. And while I'm sitting there, it's not like, we weren't like driving down the road, but it was on this road we were working on. And I just finished doing the job for him, and I told him, I was like, well, that's the last time. And then he kept walking by my boxes of gear, and he kicked them. And I was like, don't touch my stuff again, man. And he walked over to it right after I said it. He goes, "There's probably my shit in here anyway," and he kicked it again. And like, dude, I should have beat you up a long time ago. I should have beat you up a long time ago. So what I did was I ran at him. I grabbed him by his collar. And this is family, mind you. And I pull him and back him over this little wooden fence. It's like those posts that are like split fences or something. It was stacked up, and I arched him over it, and I just wanted to I wanted to just pulverize his face. But like, I like to have my father's respect, and I don't want to disappoint my dad because that's his brother. But I just wanted to beat the piss out of him, and I should have just beat the piss out of him, but I didn't. And then he called. He went over and got his son, and told his son to get out in the road and beat me up. And his son told him no. So then he went and got my other uncle, and told that uncle to get out in the road and fight with me. And he told him he wouldn't. Like, at that point, I'm ignorant. I'm out of my mind. I'm just mad. And so I'm like, yes, please, someone come out on the road with me. Like, I've already flipped the switch, and it's just, I can't just turn that off. Like, I'm a nice guy. It takes a whole lot for me to get into that mode, and it takes even more to get out of it. So, luckily, I was able to call my dad and let him know, hey, dude, can you please come pick me up because I'm about to beat your brother up. And he just fired me, or basically kicked me out of his truck because I won't allow him to rip me off. He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. Hang on. Yeah, dude, just don't do anything. So he came and got me. Got me away. And as I left, I was told by my dad's brother that I'll be begging to come back, is what he said. And I was like, is that right? He said, you'll be begging. I said, man, never again. It'll be a cold day in hell before I ever depend on you for anything, because I tried that. I tried to depend on him. He didn't pay me. I mean, how do you do that to somebody? The reason he got behind so much money, I'll tell the story again, is because he got to Christmas time, and he's family, you know? We get to Christmas time, and he starts telling me that he's really, something happened with his checks, he's really behind on money, and that the guys are going to have to only get half a check for Christmas or something. It was like right before Christmas. And he's like, this just is what it is, and he's telling me this. And I think what it is, he knew I always kind of have a big heart. I love helping people. And so he knew I would kind of step in there somehow. And so I told him, I'm like, dude, you got to pay him. You know, it's Christmas time. He's like, well, somebody's going to have to take a hit. And I was like, how long? He's like, probably the rest of this month. Like, if you can let me do that. And then I got these checks that are post-dated. And then I'll catch everything up with you. I said, all right, man. Yeah, okay. I did good with my money and tried to save it. And I have my Christmas gifts bought, you know. Okay, yeah, pay him. I'll wait. So he got away with paying me December through January. And then he still wasn't paying me into February. And he prolonged it until I told him I can't no more. Like I told him, absolutely not. And before I knew it, he was $5 or $6 grand in the hole with me. He was probably actually at that time only about $4,500 in the hole with me. But then over time, he'd be like, oh shit, can you tack that onto that debt? And I was like, yeah. And little by little, it would build and build. And so, yeah, that's the way that story ended. When my mom passed this year, he showed up to the funeral, pretending like he actually had a heart, which I knew better. He tried to tell me how he's going to make it right, and this and that. Oh, bullshit, dude. You ain't making nothing right. Deep down, you're a fuckface. You're a rotten human. That's what it is. Deep down, you're just a piece of shit. You took clothes off my kid's back. You took food off my dinner table. And for what? For nothing. I made sure your kids ate. And believe me, when you see the size of some of these kids, you know they ate. So, yeah. So the reason I'm skinny is because of this guy. I haven't eaten in a long time, guys. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the end of this. I don't know why I came out here and rambled for that long, but it did. So, in conclusion, Sheriff says, stop crying. That's it. Just stop crying. You don't need to be whining so much. There's a lot of crybaby stuff going on out there, and it needs to stop. So, don't let somebody try to bully you in the comment section and tell you that your opinion, you can't have it because it's mean or it's not positive or it's not exactly what theirs is. You got to deal with that. You want to make content on YouTube? You want to be famous? You think everybody likes 50 Cent? Probably not. I don't mind him. I think he's funny. But, yeah. Stop crying. Stop crying. Especially when you're the type of person that loves to make videos and tell your opinion about things and about people. So if you're spending all your time telling your opinion about people and things, why can't someone else do it? Just because you decide to put your name onto a product and people don't like it, take your name off that product then. Like, no one's trying to take away your livelihood by saying that they don't like something. I don't like it. I'm never gonna like it. But that's okay. I'm not your target, you know, buyer. I'm not your target buyer. Like, you're looking for uneducated homeowners or lawn services that want to do tree work. Those are the people who are going to buy these chainsaws. Or startup tree guys. It is what it is, man. Like, I think you're going overboard with getting upset. If someone stole your chainsaw and they shipped it out and somebody did something dirty with that and he somehow got your saw and cracked it open and did all, if that's all true, I hate when I don't like suing. Like, I don't even know how you do that. I don't even know how you call the cops. Like, if I'm being honest, if I need to call the cops, I don't even know how to do it. You still call 911? Like, I don't know. So have your opinion. There's nothing wrong with it. If somebody stole your stuff and he did something dirty there, I get it. I think that's a bit shady. He becomes the shady one then. He becomes the skeezy one then, if that's what he did. And he's lying about it. So I can understand it this much, suing him. But now you're suing just everybody. People aren't seeking you out and going to your channel and telling you suck. They're saying you suck somewhere else, man. And just because you stumble across it doesn't mean you have the right to sue them because they don't like you. That's not the way things work. That is the way things should not work. I don't know. They may work. The crazy shit I see people do these days. Who knows? He may end up suing these people, and they may give him millions of dollars. I've seen some really lame shit go down, and I'm not saying that this isn't one of them, but I don't think it should be. I think this absolutely contradicts everything being an American is. And I just don't much understand any of it. Just be okay that they're somewhere else on a different site with other people that has nothing to do with you, and they're talking about stuff. That's like saying if you walked into a room and somebody was having a conversation about you and they were saying that maybe they didn't like you, that you're allowed to sue them now because of that. That's horseshit, man. Grow up. Knock it off. Think of, put yourself in those people's shoes. You have on your channel talked about tons of people that you don't like. If that was the case, Donald Trump could come sue your ass off right now because you've made up you've said some goofy shit about the dude. But like a secure man that isn't 100% beta doesn't go straight to, I'm gonna sue you. Get a tissue, wipe your eyes, wipe your chin, and grow up. It's not that serious. If someone stole your stuff, do your thing, man. If that guy was trying to mess up and tell people, never buy these, you should never buy these, this guy should never sell any of these, but if he says, I wouldn't buy these, or I don't think they're good, or I wouldn't recommend anybody buying them, that's his opinion. You're now confusing someone trying to harm you financially, business like it doesn't make any sense, man. No one's trying to harm you. You gotta like knock it off. You're giving out these guys names. You're basically doxing them repeatedly because anytime he says someone's name, he has to say the state that they live in. Like, stop being a creep. Stop like researching people because they said that they don't like you. That's lame, man. That's like I don't know. You know what? Do whatever you want. I don't really care. But you want to be respected by people. You want to, I don't care. You've got 19 point something thousand subscribers. If one of them agrees with what you're doing, they're just as lame and beta as you. So maybe at first I questioned the China, the embassy calling and question you about your sexuality, but maybe they don't like the crybaby stuff. Maybe it's all the crybaby stuff. So they're like, yeah, this is weird. He wants to sue people. And I don't know. I'm just making stuff up and drawing conclusions and trolling. See ya.